Maybe we're gonna rise a little bit. So purely clear. That was still a space to go.
Hi guys, my name is Anna and I am a trader in binary options, and I want to tell you one good news. I have free Telegram channels, absolutely free, where I post signals and we can actually trade together. I'm just welcoming all of you who are into it or interested to just follow my links and find my Telegram channels to trade together.
Hey guys, here's still me just sitting right there being super excited to have just another trade-in. So we're going to be testing today the strategies, see how it goes and see what we can take from it. Let us start just as always. 1 minute interval gonna be for the trading period, 325 for a start. Gonna be fixing and setting up. Something is just scratching, and gonna go next after the bounce power. We're gonna set it up with the MACD, so you know it. But I see MACD, I see only profits. I see pleasure. I see profits. I see nice trading that actually lies ahead. So finishing with all these numbers, with the indicators, the changing is actually right here after the period has been changed, but not that bad. Currency pairs with the biggest payouts. This is just as always 91% as a max. That's kind of good. And from the Quotex, that's one of the best one. Okay, finishing and zoom in, and this is it. This is how we're gonna be working, and even right there, you know what's gonna be the bad actually. I think it's gonna be nice. Let's go. Here we are, still it's gonna be kind of simple, so I'm not gonna get, I think, quite slow and long right here. So we do expect it's going to be the upward trend, just because look at the MACD, that's quite clear. The green line above the orange line, the candles are green, and we are just rising. Bounce power a little bit getting us nervous, but with the envelopes that is actually following what we have on the chart, that's pretty clear. Look at that, we are rising, and I must say that's kind of just I wanted to tell you that it's so purely clear and safe. It started to get massively downward. So we actually entered that, I think, in the middle, kind of in the middle, and that's why we already been following this downward, the opposite trend. That's us. We gotta just make it bigger, and then we gotta get upward. That's a little bit high volatility situation. You can see that by all the candles that is actually switching and changing, by the MACD, which is completely flat, and the candles of the MACD is flat, almost invisible. But I think time is the time. With the envelopes, we perfectly see that we've been at the bottom, and I don't think we gotta get upward after. So look at that. Maybe that's not that massive break upward after that bottom. Maybe that's just the plateau of that chart. But anyway, my expectation was, and actually that's been working with that type of situation, we had no signals to get downward. And sometimes that's enough to risk and have it as an upward one. And that's us. The only question that I have, are we at the end of the trend? So we are rising, and that's definitely just rising. But what about this 1 minute? And I entered actually kind of high. Even now candles are lower and started a little bit, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, what I've been thinking about. I think we're gonna be still continuing. What about the envelopes? Here actually You can notice that some places it's more narrow and some places it's more wide, but with this period, with this type of situations, it's a little bit like moving average or something like that. I cannot say that it's extremely useful, informative, or anything like that. But my prognosis was that we're not gonna get drastically downward. We're still gonna be having that. But that was, if I'm being honest, like an assumption. So I had no signals of getting straight downward. So my prognosis was like, maybe we're gonna rise a little bit. And plus, look at this envelopes. It's perfectly showing to us that all these changes are kind of smooth. No, right there from the orange to green. So that was, if you have not enough signals, and sometimes even with the MACD, we don't have time. Please, you better ignore the situation because that was a little bit like guessing. So this one, this is this one, this is this one. The same, almost, the distance kind of big between the bats, but kind of the same, I think. But the ballast power is a little bit like, I don't know, my expectation is just like that. We still have a little bit of it. We're still gonna be rising because MACD is quite stable. And before, even with the first orange candles of the MACD, actually it takes time. MACD reacting, it's kind of, how to say that? It is a specific response from the MACD when it's drastically going to be changed. So I didn't see it exactly at that situation. Of course, I do expect that's going to be the peak somewhere here or maybe quite close to my estimated levels. That's going to be the peak and the reverse movement, but yes. But at the time it started to enter, that was still a space to go. Okay, let's get right there. We are still right. I don't know, that's not fun. That it's accidental that all these situations actually look alike. And that's bad because I am with a lack of explanation, trying to explain it a third time and still the same situations. Okay, this time we can skip actually. So that's almost the peak. That's almost the reverse, and I need that a few seconds of that, please. And look at that MACD. Here, I must say, we could see some complicated situation with the MACD, and actually, MACD could play, the candles of this indicator, but anyway, the market is the market. It doesn't matter where actually you can see from the MACD, the market is the gap. That's it. I've been so proud of that MACD indicator, and I've been promising that it's going to be the perfect, but actually that went a little bit more tricky than I wanted. And that's why, and again, I want to repeat that. That's why there is no solid indicator that can actually help you to be profitable in all of the situations and all of the times. Because if they're gonna be the one, we all gonna be the millionaires or something like that.